it's me, Arielle, and welcome to Recovery and Pets. I have here with me today a special guest who is my personal friend. Her name is Jennifer Dern, MSW, LSW, and she specializes in the human-animal bond and pet loss. So I was really excited to have her be part of this web series. She leads a pet caregiver support group currently, and she is also a pet parent herself. And as many of you know, I'm also a pet parent, so we have that in common. We are both proud guardians of cats.
I certainly want to thank you for having me today. It means a lot.
Anytime. This will hopefully be the first of many times that I will have Jennifer here with me, because we're actually going to try doing a new web series about recovery and pets. And this is going to be part 1, Recovery and Pets, Positive Forces in Our Lives. And as we all know, if we have pets, they are definitely positive forces in our lives. So basically what we're going to be talking about today is all of the ways that pets can enhance recovery for those who are healing from a mental illness, specifically eating disorders, but really any kind of mental illness, and actually how they're just a positive force in life in general, regardless of whether or not you are recovering from something. So not only are pets positive forces in our lives, they're actually part of our family, and they're also often part of recovery. So while Jennifer is certainly new to the subject of eating disorders, she is definitely not new to the subject of pets. So hopefully she can give you some good insights, and I'm really, really happy to have her here with us today. So Jennifer, can you tell us about some of the health benefits that our pets give us?
Yes, I certainly can. Pet parents of dogs and cats are said to have better physical and mental health, which I don't think a lot of people realize. In fact, statistics show that people that have pets make fewer doctor's visits during the year.
Which is really something interesting to note if you're recovering from an eating disorder, because we all know that that has a lot of physical symptoms. So people who are trying to boost their physical health, having a pet around could be a huge benefit to them, right?
Certainly, there are so many benefits, and the action of petting an animal can promote a positive mood, reduce blood pressure and heart rate, decrease anxiety, and just increase your overall well-being. And sometimes when you have a companion animal, it's like I was just saying, it really does alleviate loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Your pet is your friend,
Yes.
your confidant. Probably listens to you better than your family members.
Probably.
Without any kind of judgment, no matter what. Loves you unconditionally. And that is so important. And I think a lot of people don't think much about that. How pets really do change our lives.
They do. And for people who are recovering from an eating disorder, they might not be thinking about what an asset their pet is, but they're not realizing how much of a positive role that their pet plays in their recovery.
It is a reason to get up in the morning. Depression is debilitating, and it's so difficult to really be able sometimes to talk to someone, especially when you're hurting a great deal and your companion animal is right by your side, which is helpful because it's easier than picking up the phone or coming and really speaking to another family member within the house.
Right.
And sometimes what is so difficult that you're not able to say to a person at the time, you're able to talk to your pet. You're able to use that script, so to speak, on your pet. And that is so much better because your companion animal isn't holding any kind of judgment against you.
And kind of in a way, like talking to your pet can be a form of journaling or something like that, because you're able to get your thoughts out to something that is as non-judgmental as a piece of paper.
So true.
It's not another person, and it's healthy. And how many times do you talk to therapists or other people in an eating disorder profession who tell you about the importance of journaling, and we overlook the role that our pets play.
And people do have a difficult time putting pen to paper or really getting their thoughts out.
Right.
And sometimes speaking out loud to your companion animal, it does a world of good for you.
Definitely.
Because I know from experience, I've talked to a lot of people in my line of work where they'll say something to the effect of, I just don't want to journal. I don't want to write anything down. It's not me. And then I've asked, have you spoken to your pet at all about how you're feeling? And they didn't really think about that. Like, how important, how vital that presence of a companion animal is in your life.
Exactly. Can you tell us about how having a pet affects stress or how to cope with stress?
Well, stress is in all of our lives, whether we want it to be or not. And whether we like it or not, our job is stressful. Our life is stressful. Trying to overcome people's comments as we're trying to move toward recovery could really affect us and cause us stress. You might receive an email that could be the littlest thing, or a phone message that a person is leaving for you that may mean nothing to the person on the other end, but could cause us a lot of stress. Stress is everywhere, whether we like it or not. And somehow, your companion animal walks toward you. You're able to pet your cat or your dog. All of a sudden, your heart rate, which has been at a rapid beat, is decreasing because your pet is there. Because your pet understands. Your pet sees what you're going through and doesn't want you to have that stress.
It's a physiological reaction. It's not even totally of the mind. When you pet a pet, it does decrease that heart rate. And it's something that we don't even fully control. So Jennifer, can you talk about some of the other ways that pets enhance our lives?
Certainly. Thanks for asking. A cold nose and sweet eyes are enough to reel you in. And you're taken the moment you meet your pet for the first time. And somehow a bond is forming from that first meeting. And it continues to build and deepen. And one thing I don't think people understand about the bond is that it's mutual. Mutual between pet parent and companion animal. It's a reciprocal love, unlike no other. For the most part, pets become our best friends. And it is love and friendship in the purest form. A lot of times when people aren't able to go out the door to be in a social situation, when they are struggling with their depression, they have their companion animal to be their social support, which is the first contact. And sometimes it can be the only contact within a day. But I think that is so much, because some people, the people that don't have the opportunity to see a companion animal, to see a pet, and they go home to a lonely house, they don't feel better.
Right. They don't have the opportunity to feel better.
Pets give people a sense of hope and a reason to live. A pet can help a person adapt during difficult situations. There are times when people have to move to a new area, and the transition can be difficult, especially when they go to a new place when they don't know anyone at all. And somehow the companion animal helps with the transition process.
Because home is where your companion animal is.
Yes. During these difficult times, if there is a transition, pets provide a sense of comfort, companionship. The person does not feel alone. Pets are a touchstone to the outside world. It's kind of like our connection with nature is through our pet.
Yeah, exactly. Can you talk about maybe how having a pet affects how we deal with anger?
Sure, that's a very good question, because it's kind of a lot like dealing with the stress issue. Anger affects people in the same way stress does. And a lot of times people say count to 10 before you say anything, or walk in a different room to calm down. And a pet will make you automatically calm down. Again, it is a calming presence, a calming effect. A lot of times people want to find an outlet, whether it be a hobby or singing or playing an instrument. And when there isn't time for that, taking your dog for a walk or holding your cat through a television program certainly is helpful and provides you with that moment when you're able to be calm.
Yeah. And that's important for a lot of people probably watching this video, because a lot of times in recovery from an eating disorder, people who maybe used to be very active can't be as active as they would like to be because they're trying to gain weight or they're trying to stop over-exercising. And there are certain things that they really shouldn't be doing to support their recovery. And it's good to know that they don't have to give up everything. One of the things they can do to support their recovery is to just snuggle their cat or their dog while they're watching a movie or taking their dog for a short walk. You know, all of those things are not typical hobbies or, you know, things that they would do exerting themselves outside, but they're every bit as important for boosting morale and wanting to stay focused in recovery and just enjoying life in general.
Definitely. And I think your cat or your dog is happy just being with you. Sometimes it really takes a lot to feel loved and understood. And your friends or your family members aren't saying the right things to make people feel secure within themselves. And your companion animal never leaves your side.
Right.
And provides you with the love and support that you need. And somehow that is a boost of self-confidence. Sort of the first step in moving forward.
It is, because, I mean, have you ever really thought about a cat or a dog or any animal being an aid to boosting confidence? But it is. It definitely is, because it's someone who cares about you for you and believes in you and basically exists for you in a lot of ways. And, you know, how can you not become more confident because of that? It's just like a simple cause and effect.
Healing isn't something that happens overnight. It's something that takes time. And a companion animal has the ability to help heal your heart and help heal your soul.
So I'm wondering if you can tell us some more about what animals teach us, because even though they're such a great support to us and they're an asset in recovery and in life, and we love to have them just like they're a member of the family, they also serve more of a purpose. They teach us like other people in our lives.
And it's amazing what they do teach us.
Yeah.
They inspire us, first and foremost, to be more of a nurturing individual. I know a lot of times a pet is the first time that you have an experience with a baby, so to speak. And taking care of your pet, making certain your pet has food and water every day. Pets motivate us to want to care for another being.
Right.
And it is sometimes the first instance of falling into that caregiving role.
Well, especially for people recovering from an eating disorder, it's good practice on how to care for themselves. Because even before you can care for a baby or another human being, you have to learn how to care for yourself. So your pet can kind of teach you what nurturing is all about, and that it's important to care for somebody. And, you know, a lot of people need a lesson in self-care.
And we find out about that a lot, especially both of us being social workers. And as a whole, animals teach us to be less judgmental and more forgiving. It's sort of a positive role model.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. They teach us how to be our best selves.
We can learn so much from our companion animal. The biggest problem a lot of people have is focusing on the past. I know I do it.
Mm-hmm. Everybody does it.
Or looking toward the future. But your pet lives in the moment, lives in the present,
Mm-hmm.
the now, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the healthiest way to be.
Exactly.
And another thing that we can learn from a companion animal is resiliency.
Definitely.
Our pet can bounce back. And that's a fine example of how it is possible.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's totally possible.
I don't think a lot of times people take time to enjoy the simple things in life. Take time to smell the flowers or look at the stars at night. But our pet enjoys the simple things in life
All the time.
and finds that piece of sunlight in the midst of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
When I was talking about how we either live in the past or we're looking toward the future and we're not focusing on the present, we get caught up and the day's gone.
Right.
And we don't take time to appreciate that day.
Mm-hmm.
But our companion animal gets up in the morning and savors the day by laying in the sunshine, by finding that comfortable spot,
Mm-hmm.
by being in your presence.
Mm-hmm. Nourishing themselves with food, even.
Yes, very much so. And that is something that we can't learn from a human.
Yeah.
We have to learn it from our animal.
Mm-hmm.
And what a good lesson it is in taking time to look at what was good about the day
Mm-hmm.
instead of what was negative about it.
Yes, exactly. That's a very good point.
Because of our companion animals, we will learn to live a life with purpose, embrace the sunshine, and open our heart to other people. Because the relationship that we form with our pet, we're letting the door open to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, we will learn not only to love ourselves, but to love others.
Right. Right. Exactly. You can't really say it better than that. Please stay tuned for our second web series, so I hope you will look forward to that. Thanks for joining us, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you.